Today is the first full day of the New World Order. Outdoor gatherings are limited to 2 people. Exercise is allowed, but no further than a 10-kilometre radius from your home. Browsing in shops is not permitted. Only 1 person per household may leave to do essential shopping. And from tomorrow, funerals are limited to 10 people.
And the length of this lockdown is up to each and every one of us.
Steve Hart for 10 News First.
So you like that, folks? Today is the first day of the New World Order. Kind of let that slip, didn't he? They just let things slip all the time. As I predicted, they are extending the lockdown in Sydney. They're actually extending the lockdown extension. So yeah, they're extending the extension. One doctor is predicting that they will keep the lockdown going until beyond August. So that should be fun for the people in Sydney. That's like 2 months of lockdown. And they're getting pretty brutal about it. You've got police patrolling the streets. Berejiklian appealing to the people in the most desperate way possible.
I'm anticipating the numbers in New South Wales will be greater than 100 tomorrow. Now that's what I'm anticipating, and I'll be shocked if it's less than 100. Given where we're at, and given the lockdown was supposed to be lifted on Friday, I think everybody can tell that it's highly unlikely at this stage, given where the numbers are.
I mean, this woman, folks, this lying Zionist muppet, you've got to understand that her loyalties do not lie with the people of New South Wales. Her loyalties lie with the Zionist parasites that she supports more than anything else. I mean, this woman, look at the photographs they put out as well. Whenever there's a news article, look at the photograph of the politician in the news article. They sit there and they put on specific faces for specific news articles because they want to look sincere. When really, the level of insincerity that they display is almost beyond categorization. It's next level insincerity that we see from these people all the time. But they're saying that there's outbreaks all over Sydney. She was expecting that there's going to be at least 100 cases tomorrow. Of course, that's what they planned. So I think there's something like 120 cases or 112 cases there was that day. So they're just going to push this as far as they can. Of course, cases mean nothing using a PCR, which isn't a test. And they're saying we've had our next death. It's because people haven't been abiding by the lockdown and people have been spending time with their extended families, and we've got families living together. We've got old folks living with their kids and stuff, and this really isn't acceptable because they're bringing COVID home and it's killing the old people. Because there was a 90-year-old woman, or a woman in her 90s, who died. This woman died hours after being tested positive for COVID.
Thanks for joining us this Monday morning. Sydney's COVID outbreak has turned to heartbreak, sadly claiming the life of a 90-year-old woman.
Yeah, she lived in the city's southwest, caught the virus from a family member and passed away just hours after testing positive. We're joined now by Liverpool Mayor Wendy Waller. Mayor, good morning to you. Thank you for your time this morning. This is just so sad, isn't it?
It is. It's always tragic to lose a family member, and this is no different.
I guess this was what they were all worried about, wasn't it, for some time in the lead up to the weekend? Big families and someone bringing the virus into a family.
Well, when you have extended families and generations under one roof, you will pose a threat to the contagiousness nature of this vaccine. Dr. Chance made it very clear from day one, this is an extremely contagious virus.
Oops, she kind of let that one slip too, didn't she? Funny how they do that, isn't it, folks? They just say the right thing and then they go, oops, I meant to say something else.
There's a threat to the contagiousness nature of this vaccine. Dr. Chance made it very clear from day one, this is an extremely contagious virus, and it even affects children, and that's the thing that really concerned me.
So here you've got someone basically in care in their 90s and they're basically on death's door. So they've gone and quickly tested them for COVID and just probably ramped it up to 45 cycles so they can test a positive for anything they want. And said, oh, look, COVID death, your fault because you haven't been self-isolating. And so, You know, and they're saying, you know, it's going to be up to you how long the lockdown goes for.
It's just unbelievable, Angie, when you hear those numbers, to think that there are still people in the community who are not getting the message. But that is exactly what police found overnight, intercepting 3 illegal gatherings. The first, a group of 5 men who'd travelled across Sydney to play FIFA in a mate's man cave. That, of course, is an online game they each could have played safely in their own homes. Then in Homebush, 10 people were fined for holding an 18th birthday party. They tried to tell police they weren't aware of the rules. And in Marrickville, 15 men were caught inside a home playing cards.
They went to that unit and found 15 men in a small unit playing cards. These men were in their 50s through to just short of 90 years of age. No masks, no social distancing, clearly in an environment that was a huge risk to them, their families and their community.
Unfortunately, the situation facing police was not much better this morning. Take a look at these pictures. Dozens of people up on a headland in Manly in our northern beaches. Many of them acknowledged to me that they were not from the same household. They also conceded that the social distancing there was abysmal. Pictures like these, of course, go to show the risk that is still in our community. And if people continue to behave like this, we know that this lockdown will last even longer.
In other words, comply and do what I tell you to do, or I'm going to keep you in jail. That's the ultimatum that she's basically giving people, folks. Like I said, the level of insincerity from these people is just next level.